Y'all the clearest representation of what New York City is, and you guys are what makes hip hop great,
Man,
and what makes hip hop last.
So I salute hip hop and everybody from y'all, the informatives of the information station, as I would say it.
Yeah.
You know, from you guys having interviews, because without you guys, nobody gets to have the identity of the artist. Continue doing your thing, man. Keep these platforms going.
Changing of the hip hop gods. Y'all are the gods. Let's make it happen, y'all.
Welcome everyone to Changing of the Hip Hop Guards podcast. I'm one half of your host, the journalist Sincere. That's my partner, Uncle E. And tonight we have the pleasure of speaking with Kendra and Big Ox about the life of Vice Versus, his history, his new project, and much more. Thank you guys for joining us this evening.
Yes, thank you for having us, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. We're excited to be here and super appreciate you having us here.
No
doubt.
Thank you for taking the time.
So if you can please introduce yourselves and how you know Vice Versus, and either or.
I'm also one of the founders of End of the Week. Jason is one of the founding members. He was one of the hosts. Jason and I were partners for 20 years, so we have like a long history, and partners in life and music and everything else we do. So definitely like part of the foundation and want to carry on his legacy. And so we're doing that in different ways, a bunch of which we'll talk about today.
Very dope.
That is Kendra Gold. I go by the name of Big Ox. I've basically been the third wheel for the whole time. No, but I mean, facts though, if you really think about it. But yes, I met Vice back right before he started, like in college, right before he started the whole EOW situation, when he was on the grind getting it in. And I've always been a fan, into music, doing hip hop music, independent. We're doing a lot of shit I'm from Westchester, so I met them in the city and stuff. But just coming up, I went back to college. When Tom came back, whole EOW movement, been through with the whole everybody there. Me and Vice independently started our own thing during the process. First OZ Entertainment, now it's Idea Factory. But we just been always been best friends and business partners, music partners forever, basically. I don't know.
Okay.
And third wheel.
The third wheel. All right. So how about Ox? Let's start with you real quick. Tell us a little bit more about yourself as far as you being an artist. How did you first get into hip hop? What was it that attracted you? Were you always an MC? Did you do any other type of element?
Yeah. My whole thing came in. I always wanted to like be business with hip hop. I was like, I love rap. You come up, everybody love rap, and I love battling. Not battling the battles, but battling. People chilling the block, chilling, getting it in. Right. I did some early things. Right before in high school and stuff, a couple of friends and stuff and such. But I always wanted to do like be the behind the scenes and such. So I started, So I started like managing artists. In the beginning, I had an artist named War, True Knowledge, Nora Symphony, and a couple people I work with. So we started that, and then I was always getting these studios and being like, getting frustrated with artists you're working with, trying to be like, how people it is. You're coming up young, like you learn everything you're doing. So it's like with artists, I'm like putting everything I got to get them studio time, shows, and all of a sudden they're like, they feel privileged because they're nice with rhymes and stuff. So it's like they at the beginning I wasn't able to show them the part of where you have to put the work in more than just music. So eventually, boom. Been chilling with Vice, doing open mic thing. Got addicted to it. With EOW, and then started MCing myself, and then me and Vice started our thing and went from there. Like early on, I did a lot of tracks with like Aguilar, Me and I got a lot of tracks out. Me and Vice were doing tracks. Like I said before, I did most of my joints with I feel like Union Entertainment is Connecticut, Westchester based with Big Mike and everything.
Okay. Right.
We did a couple mixtapes together there, but then it was like, I wasn't really trying to be an MC or not, But now, Vice always been hitting me ahead to go harder, whatever, rhyme more, and I've been rhyming and putting out the things here and there, Mostly featured on his music or a couple other friends' music, So that was really the approach. We started Idea Factory. So then, me and Vice always had a thing where we just always rhyming. You know what I mean? Like we was in the studio every day. We made a pact that if we show up, we're gonna get it. Instead of like, playing video games all day, Madden and 2K, which I'm the king of. But instead of doing that, you know what I mean? We're gonna, because I had equipment, so it's like either we're gonna do a bridge here, bridge on this song, chorus on this song, a verse for this. It was like we're not gonna be around each other just chilling without getting work done. So we just did this. We have this amount of incredible work, all different places, different aspects and such. So it's like, so that's what it is.
Okay. Now you also produce?
Yeah, but I'm not like I'm producing them, man. I do make beats, but my beats ain't like, it's all right. But I do more the fraction of producing where it's like structuring songs, like saying, hey, this verse will work on this song, right? This beat right here, and then this part, like stuff and such. You know what I mean? I would say like Diddyism, but you know what I mean? The idea. You know what I'm saying? Like not having to make because there's a lot of dope producers that I work with. Like they make dope beats. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the dope artists, they want to put a song on that. And you put the exact lyrics on top of the song, like it's a sandwich, but it's not the meal sandwich. You know what I mean? Like you need to have certain placements, certain areas, have the beat breakdowns, certain times, certain areas. So I do produce more in that aspect.
That's producing, bro.
Yes, I know, but most people are like ding 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 ding.
Yeah. All right, man. So and then you say you host a Diverse City?
Yeah, Diversity TV.
Right.
Show me and Vice started. Everything I did as an adult, I think Vice was my partner on it. I swear, I can't even think back on like anything real thing I did. But Diversity TV. So we just named Diversity TV because we want to like showcase, we're us being like in the cities in like the ground of like where the arts come up. New York City, we think of, you know what I mean? But it's broader than that. But we were involved in like every open mic, every showcase, every like street art show. I mean, like we were there, like really, because supporting it, because we did independent hip hop, so we supported everything else also. Like it was a fan of also, so it was like, why I'll do all this? Why don't we try to showcase what those things are for a broader audience? So we started Diversity TV, and with Vice having Dub internationally, like it was a great part about it because him and Kendra travel everywhere and with all different Dub events around the world, and like we be covering different. All the world, all the like the AOW World Championships. You know what I mean? We're covering those. We're covering this different things going on in different countries. You know what I mean? At the same time, while covering what's going on in hip hop in the streets of New York City, also. You know what I mean? So it was dope. I do plan to pick it back up. It's just been really hard since Vice is not here.
Okay, got you. Want to take it over, Kendra? What about you? Tell us a little bit about your background. How'd you become hooked up in hip hop, and also how did you end up meeting Vice?
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Basically, like all my friends since we were in high school have been MCs, and a lot of them were doing shows back in the day in LES and Manhattan in the city. Basically feels like, like a lot of our friends kind of interconnected back in the early 2000s. They were doing like, the Breeze Ever Flowins, like all the people who were doing shows at that time, like our friends were involved with. So definitely started doing shows basically kind of before End of the Week started. Also went to college. And in fact, I met Jason in high school because he became friends with some of my friends. And we didn't get together until after I graduated college. I came back to New York. Everyone basically started coming together to do these shows. And and I was there and was helping when End of the Week started back in 2000.
In 2000.
Long history.
Can you tell us a little bit more detail about End of the Week? Like what exactly, for those who may not know, I know from if I'm not mistaken, I know it's one of the longest running.
It's the longest running New York City history.
Right. So tell us a little bit about that for those that may not know.
Okay. I can even do like the Genesis story. So basically there was a DJ back in 2000s. There was this little dance spot in LES called Bob's. And his name was Joey Ty. He would DJ. He actually wasn't like the best DJ, which is kind of like a funny story. But Jason and Pro from Eye to Eye would be going there with all my friends. It was like a really, really small spot. And Zoo and Nunzio from this group called Solid Ground from Jersey would frequent this place. They all spit. They're all freestylers, spit like crazy. So Joey, for some reason, happened to think about a show he wanted to do and wanted to bring together Pro and Jason from Eye to Eye and Zoo, Sun Tzu, zoo from Jersey to host an event, and it was going to be called
Something.
It had a different name at that time. But basically, he organized a show, had them all agree to come, and crazy enough, he got brain cancer and didn't make the first event. He never showed up to one, but everyone else did. And at the time, we were friends with this DJ called Scram Jones, who went on to become a pretty big DJ.
It's pretty big.
He's pretty big. We got him to come, and he was the original DJ, and it was in basically the back of a restaurant in LES called Baby Jupiter. There was bring your own alcohol, bring your own whatever else.
It was like everybody's in there with 40s freestyle all night. Like, it was lit. All the MCs would come there.
All
Like,
the MCs were coming.
Like BYOB to an open mic in the city. Like, my God.
Right.
It was sponsored by OE, by the way.
I can't even. Please tell me you don't drink that anymore.
No. It took off pretty
Try to
quickly.
give me that old feeling.
It took off pretty quickly because Jason and the manager James Bong came up with this concept that was like the anti-battle. So instead of a battle, it was kind of like a Olympic style competition.
Yeah, because the whole idea was like battling was like, everybody's going at your neck so hard. So it was like more separation within, you know what I mean? It was the whole idea from what I was told. It's like bringing everyone together, you know what I mean? And making it the competition, but it's like, we're bringing a place where the competition, but everybody there can like meet. MCs can meet producers can meet MCs. Everybody, everybody gets together.
Okay.
Build as one.
And you're almost kind of challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're competing against yourself rather than actually trying to bring the other person down. You're trying to one up yourself because people kind of know you already, and they're expecting a lot from you. And so like that kind of set it off to be like the hottest place to be, where like a lot of the people who ended up getting, coming up through the battle circuits and all these other circuits came through there first. So like the Immortal Technique battled Iron Solomon had a MC challenge where they like went off at the end and like went
Nems, Math,
just like countless people basically like honed their skills and became better stage performers.
That's the first place I seen J. Cole, I'll tell you that.
Oh wow.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Wow. So you guys, what you basically kind of took, like what you're describing reminds me somewhat of what used to go on like in Washington Square Park, where cats would get together and sort of have a cipher and rhyme, but it's kind of like they were battling but not battling, like they were just showing off their skills, sharpening each other. It sounds like you kind of took something like that and brought it.
Yeah, and what Vice did though with it, he made a specific competition. Like it would be open mic. Like, it wouldn't be competition night every night. Most nights would be open mic, but then we'd have an MC competition because we didn't want to have end of the year the champion of the year. You know what I mean? So every whatever times in between, because it was every Sunday. Like for 9/11, it was open. You know what I mean? When it was the Hurricane Sandy, niggas was there. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was just me and Vice there, somebody else, but it was the DJ was there ready to go. Like it was Sunday, it just kept going. Anyways, regardless, but whatever times in between they have an MC competition, they made it based on 5 different categories. So they made it specifically a thing, you know what I mean? Like a written round, a cappella round, a beat juggling round where you have like a box and you can pull out like whatever the time span may be, pull out with 6 items during the beat and like flip it. Whatever you can do to flip those 6 items, you pull out, pause. You know what I mean? Like there's no pause for that. Whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever 6 items you can do, you pull out, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Make it work with the beat and the rhyme, you know what I mean? Then you have it was a beat juggling round where
go against the DJ
basically. You basically go against the DJ. The DJ be trying to fuck you up like it'd be like a TV theme, song, you know what I mean? Then it'd be like bachata. Then it'd be like, you know what I mean? But it'd be like a good 2 minutes or whatever, maybe what time period it is for you to keep up and flip your bars with that, you know what I mean? And then the last round they pay you with somebody and have a 4-bar cipher. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody gets 4 bars, but for whatever many rounds, and then each round judged from you get points from 1 to 10. You know what I mean? And then the winner is the winner. So it's not like anybody I'm not against you. It's you against a whole group of people, but you know what I mean? But you're trying to, so it's like, and I think that it was made to encompass people being together than going against each other more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nice. Very dope.
Yeah.
Were you guys ever approached by outer corporations, sort of like MTV approached Lyricist Lounge?
At that time, we were definitely on. We worked with Lyricist Lounge forever. But MTV, we had a couple of shows where a lot of our artists were on MTV.
Yeah.
And actually, what ultimately happened is that one of the founders went to France, to Paris, lived there, and he started the end of the week.
France.
And
wow.
from
They have French styles and
17
been to
countries.
17 different countries, you know what I mean? So there's the end of the week in all these 17 countries. And we do that competition. I won't say as much time we basically did in New York, there in those different locations to get the MC champion there. And then once we have the champion at every location, we'd have the world finals, you know what I mean?
Which is a multilingual hip hop competition, which is the same competition, but it's in multiple languages. And we would change every year. We change where we would hold
location where they have where they have a place at. We change from each location, so try to show each country love. You know what I mean? Where they have actually yield up. So it's like been mad different locations and mad different. What's dope about it is like so many dope international artists have won. And being from New York and hip hop, we always like believe like, yeah, we got the Brooklyn winner from here. Yeah, you go there, go get the championship. You go over there. There's been times I've seen it myself where it's like an artist from like Switzerland or France. You know what I mean? And like, or wherever else, but you could see. As much as you don't even know the language, you can feel the energy, the rhymes, the stage, what's going on. Like that person got that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like it's a weird thing to actually say it, but when you actually see it and understand it, it's incredible. Because like you can see your dude from America, from New York, that dude like killing it. And you're like, yeah, you know you support New York, you support America, we Americans. You know, yeah, I'm Jamaican.
Right.
You support Americans. I mean, so it's like, man, you have the competition in another country, and like. You hear them go against somebody else from somewhere else, and you're like, damn, I don't know what that dude said, but he destroyed that, you know? Right. It won't even be in their like home country where it's like everybody in the crowd's like, because he's from there. It just be like you hear what this dude is doing, you know what I mean? Or she, I'm gonna put like that.
Mm-hmm.
2000s. Anyway, so yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like as such, and it's like. You can feel and tell the energy and such, you know what I mean? And a lot of international winners have won. They've literally won, you know what I mean? So like because of being a better MC that day, you know? So that's the beauty in it.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work to put on what especially once it became international like that. How did you guys, I'm sure there had to been sponsored, were there sponsorships where
it depends on the country, honestly.
Yeah.
All the different chapters host it themselves. So it's not just one event. It's actually like usually a week-long event where they're not paying for all the people to stay there. We pay for like the winners to go. All the different chapters will send their one winner, but it's like usually like it's like I like to call it kind of like
it's a hip hop
like a religious like it's like going to like Mecca or something. It's like a week of
it really is.
It's like there's always like radio shows, recording.
The studios, we make sure all those things happen in the process. So it's like, like make a song together. Like last time was one of the best.
Eat together.
You know what I mean? Eat together, chill together, and like we don't all speak the same languages, but we all speak hip hop.
Right.
And the hip hop is, you know what I mean? It's very clear. Like we understand that. You know what I mean? So we don't even need to speak the same language. We speak that hip hop, and hip hop is a language that's bestowed in us. That we have.
Right. Throughout EOW's long run, Kendra, what would you consider your biggest highlight throughout the years?
Oh, I mean, probably it is usually
highlight or moment.
Moment. Let's say moment.
Oh wow, a moment. That would be hard. I mean, I have a lot of very like distinct memories of certain events and certain things that have happened, which were like unbelievable. But I mean, the best parts are probably doing the world finals and getting to spend a week with international like family. Basically people become family, and it's like I don't even know what the best word is. It stays with you after you go home, and you still carry the energy and that feeling of purpose, and like there's meaning to it. There's connections you're making in real life and like you're meeting all these people that they're different from you. You've never met them, but they're all going to be good people. You all are going to like take something from this experience. So usually for me, it's definitely that.
Big Ox.
In a minute.
Ooh, what's up?
Big Ox, what's your best moment all these years?
Moment? Can I name two? Just cause
absolutely.
The first one is just a personal thing. So we did a show with what's it? Right by where I used to live by the Lower East Side, by the way.
Fun.
Why used to live in
Elliot. Chinatown?
No, it's yeah, but it had the ports, East Seaport, South Street Seaport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did a show on this is my personal. We did a show on Father's. I think it was Father's Day one year. You know what I mean? Sean P was like, you know, the headliner and shit. So yeah, you know, Sean P is my favorite MC of life. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. And we did shows with him, booked him before, different things. But like, I did a set there too. But I did a song called My Lady, because there's mad girls there. So as mad girls, I was just so My Lady, because you know the girls getting that, hey. So yeah, so I did My Lady, and then like I don't know if Sean P's coming after me or what. When I was coming up the stage, this nigga was like, yo. He goes, yo, why you fucking up all the dance, nigga? he must have seen my face because he said that to me, and I was like, Sean P, no. And he was like, it's nice though, King. You know what I mean? He gave me that. I was like, you nice though. I was like, yes. you know when your favorite MCs is like, you nice, son? That's a moment.
That's it.
It's priceless. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if nobody said, but my favorite moment is like, I don't. Yo, so you know, with the MC challenges, we had one time, and the finalists was Immortal Technique and Iron Solomon. Are you familiar with both?
Yep. Yeah.
The Iron Solomon won, right? And Immortal Technique was like, nah, that nigga didn't win, son. He went hamburger.
Yeah.
And Tech is dumb nice, so Solomon like. I look up to both of them. They're dumb nice, but so then what happened? So they gave him an extra round, with acapella round. Like, you know what I mean? One and done acapella round. See who wins. Yo.
So who won?
That moment in time said it cannot be replaced. The Solomon won again, right?
Yeah.
Solomon ended up doing it again, but it was mayhem, son. It was like I went acapella again. Tech went acapella. The crowd was like. That's my favorite moment. I mean, if you're going back to a little moment in time, but
it's online somewhere.
It's online somewhere, but it's like the energy was crazy.
We'll have to peep it out. One point in time, you and Vice opened up a studio. Can you elaborate on that and what you witnessed as far as him inside that studio?
As far as Vice is a constant creator. You know what I mean? Whether it's just an idea about something, whether, you know what I mean? I feel like he was meant to expand on anything and create, you know what I mean? Like, because he'd have ideas about restaurants, and like he had a whole menu for a restaurant, the hip hop restaurant where, what was it? What Tribe Called Quesadillas. Like, there's nothing you can think of that several restaurants he didn't have a name for, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but like he was the ultimate creator. And my thing with Vice in the studio was like his pen game was so artistic and like studied and very well. Like, I feel bad about it now, kind of a little bit, but I used to like dumb him down. Because he would have double, triple, quadruple entendres.
Okay.
Like, that's how deep he was with it. You know what I mean? He would talk about having the structure of a line, have the melody, each like what they call it? Like my name is syllables hit perfectly throughout the lines. You know what I mean? Like that his mind would do that. But sporadically all the time. So it's like one of the things like working with Vice, like, you know what I mean? Like he was so intricate. I used to like bring it down a little bit because it's like I'm like the public is not gonna be able to interpret and that'd be edible, you know what I mean, and such. And a lot of times I felt like, you know, it was on point, but then again, him not being here, I feel like, you know what I mean, that level of artistry, like as far as scientific writing and like syllable watch is something that should have been portrayed more because he's not here. You know what I mean? Like he was that good. You know what I mean? Like to me, he's the best MC ever lived. I don't care what I say to everybody in the world. Name your favorite artist. Give me his best 16. I got a 16 in my hard drive right now. From VZ. We play for independent people. We'll see who's better. That's how I feel about him. You know what I mean? I really believe that in my soul. You know what I mean? But he was that intricate when it comes to writing. You know what I mean? And I used to like make him dumb down a lot. So that was the thing. But the thing about also VZ in the studio, like he's worked with and wrote for so many different artists up and coming. You know what I mean? Like gave them like joints where that's what they thrive off and live off of to make their next project to come. You know what I mean? That's what they base their shows off of, the shit VZ wrote for him. And he would just want to help everybody. You know what I mean? Like his love for the art was so in depth. You know what I mean? Like I've never, like if you like, for instance, like somebody asked me, like I interviewed recently, they asked me what song on the album would most describe Vice. You know what I mean? And I thought about it. I didn't even think about it. And I went to the song "Broken Heart." Breaking it's breaking my heart. Yeah. Nobody gives a fuck about the art, and it's breaking it's ripping me. And the whole song is basically about how hip hop, how it's been molded through monetization, whatever it may be, is like it's being destroyed from what it really is artistically. And like to have, and my sense was like to have a broken heart about that, you know what I mean? But like I'm being true, like VZ had had a broken heart about that. To have a broken heart about that, you must love it to a level to break your heart. You must love it to a certain level. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I say like him artistically is just like something different. You know what I mean?
Can you where exactly was what's Vice's, what was his background? Where was he from?
The BX, South Bronx.
South Bronx.
You know what it is?
Uptown. Born in the Bronx. Okay.
Yeah, all that, you know what I mean?
Okay. What was his background? What was his family from?
The Bronx.
Yeah.
Like,
Bronx. Latin.
Nah, black. Just, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But like,
okay.
You know, VZ's everything. They're like, VZ's everything. He speaks every language without speaking it. Mm-hmm. He speaks every what they call it? What they go by in different like Asian shit, like
dialects.
No,
dialects.
Rich and poor, like whatever. Maybe.
Yeah.
He speaks every like
class.
People. He speaks every poor. He speaks every mid. He speaks the richest. You know what I mean?
Right,
I see who could show with like a dude on the block spin walking by and Madonna on the same night. You know what I mean? And speak the same language, like on some real shit though. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
It was like he can adapt to any habitat, been there and back. You know what I mean? Since Mars. But like he was that dude. You know what I mean? Like you know, you can't bring every peoples everywhere. You know what I mean? You can bring Vice anywhere. Like you can bring Vice to the White House right now, if it's the case may be. You know what I mean? Like, and they'd be good with him. They be chill. Like the assistants, everybody there would be like, yeah, I'm here with Vice. You know what I mean? But like, if you brought him to like the Lower East Side in the park, where everybody's out there smoking dope, chilling, and some niggas is around, man, they'll love him too. You know what I mean? Just cause he'll show them love, cause that's where his heart was. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he basically can adapt to anything you would throw.
Anything in the world, man.
Right.
That's why he was for end of the week. Like he was basically the
ambassador.
He was the ambassador. You know what I mean? Like he was the face of anywhere of you can hear what he's doing, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Can you talk a little bit about the artists that passed through that studio, from Jerobi to Rome Streets? Who are some of the artists that passed through?
Like a lot of different artists, like Jerobi, Rome Streets, Dinko, Math Hoffa, Rockless Monster. You know what I mean? Like Tech from Smith and Wesson. Like, you know what I mean? As far as the bigger ones, Jess James, who's one of my brothers. So me and Vice also created Idea Factory, you know what I mean, together while we was here. And we was putting out the music through there. So Jess James and me and now, holding it up with Kendra, you know what I mean? And, so Jess James' next album is coming out. It's called Figueroa, Jesse's Dead. Make sure you guys get your hands on that, because it's going to be Crackola. We have a new artist named by Pennywise, you know what I mean? Time for Change coming right after that. But other artists we work with, it's been so many from you know what I mean? Like I wish I could remember names right now. Shabam.
Yeah.
So many. It's like I feel like everybody though, you know what I mean? Like it's not everybody, but it's like anybody get a chance. Poison Pen, Swave Sever, Money Bags, Breeze, like I don't know how familiar you guys are with all the artists I'm naming. Mia X. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mia X, I'm Brooklyn Mia X. I don't feel familiar, but she's retarded. Vicky Green, and Mozzie, there's a lot of different artists, man. You know what I mean? But Dominoes, like I got the list is, you know what I mean? Like this is the thing is, like, having a studio like that, like, it would be like all party, you know what I mean? All exclusive spots every night. And bring all the MCs back, nigga. Let's make a joint, you know what I mean? Like, we get 16 balls a set, and, like, you know what I mean? Even if half of them come through just to chill and be around surrounds and such, you know what I mean? We pulling our balls from these niggas all the time, you know what I mean? So it's like, we have an exclusive, like, you know, stack of that to put out. And the whole time, I feel, you know what I'm saying? I feel bad about, I was talking about, like, VZ, dumbing VZ down a little bit on the ball. VZ was always like, put it out, put it out, put it out. You know what I mean? And I was always like, nah, man, you know, because we, like, at the time, I mean, me being like engineering it, like, you know, the mixes and the mastering, the shit right wasn't going to be right. You know what I mean? From what I've known at the time. But what's crazy is like now his album, for instance, you know what I mean? Jesse's album coming next. Penny's album coming after that. You know what I mean? Like that figuring out of how to make it the sound, like to feel for the beat and the structure, like mix and master that way so that expresses what the song is doing is set now. And that's always I was worried about, but I feel bad because I have a ton of these tracks now and verses from all these artists and peoples. It's like just sitting there and like, yeah, roam streets, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like mad joints, you know what I mean? Aguilar mad joints, you know what I mean? Like Ag was basically where me, Ag, and Vice and Ag had like 2 albums together, or really, or some like when I look at all the songs we got, like they did joints back to back all the time. Because they're like Aguilar and Vice are both like 2 people who can't not work. If you're in this, if they're around the studio like VZ, then it's time to go. Even if it's time to like get a skeleton, you know what I mean? Like what it may be. Like Aguilar can't sit there with I got an MPC 2000 XL in my crib with the Logic and everything set up. He can't sit there and not be like, nah, time to, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And put some verses down, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's crazy because I have all this music, you know what I mean? And it's mostly curated through VZ, you know what I mean? VZ's energy, tell you the truth, you know what I mean? So it's like, so we have Idea Factory, and then we want to make sure we carry that on for him also, you know what I mean? So Jess James, Figueroa, Jesse's Dead, it's coming soon, and then Pennywise, Time for Change.
Gotcha. So, but you guys are planning on doing something with this music that you're talking about that you have.
I mean, I'm
little by little
right now. You know what I mean?
Even there,
you know, this is gonna be the Vice posthumous album. Is that posthumous? Something like that.
Right.
But this was just like a small, you know what I mean, small piece of the pie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like we're basically giving niggas a slice of what we got. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's a whole pie left. You know what I mean? With him and the other artist features and stuff and such. It's like, you know, ideally you want to get out there in a certain manner. Just make sure, to me, like, you know what I mean? Like his name was always remembered. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want his work. So even if it comes down to it, like I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like there'd be at times like I'd say 80% of these things because I have so much recorded. I got 80% more just written. Like I'm like in my mind, should I like try to do a book? Should we do something like because I just want his art out there because that's what he always wanted. You know what I mean? His art to be released to the people. And we have so much. Like I have just like my Google Docs, my notes. Like we have like, oh, for this beat, this is the bridge we wrote. This is the chorus. This is this is a verse. But it's not always for him or me. You know what I mean? It's like for somebody else here and there. You know what I mean? It's like, do we try to curate, put somebody to do this? Or do we like just, you know what I mean? I don't know. But it's a lot. That's all he did was work, right? Come up with ideas and write. That's if you know Vice, that's what he does. Oh, you might get annoyed from it. He's with some ideas like, what about this? What about that? What about that? What about this? And then like now he's not here. And I think back at all these ideas, I'm like, those are fucking dope fucking ideas, nigga. It was like, you know what I mean? Sorry.
Nah, I hear you, man. So is putting all of these ideas that you're talking about is that you and Kendra
in terms of formulating the album, yeah. The last one that we co-produced it in terms of
and she's gonna be formulating with me from now on too. I don't care what she says.
In terms of organizing who's gonna be on the songs and bring them to fruition.
As far as like getting the features on what feature we want here, what feature we want on that song, what feel right. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Right.
The A&R, the whole album. For
Gotcha.
the like who to be on what, why, when, like what producer should be good for this and that. You know what I mean? Like she was a part of that. Even like making the intro song, Ag did that live. You know what I mean? It was like it was a special situation. Like Ag made some little quick drums real quick, and then Kendra was like, "Is that it?" You know what I mean? And Ag's like, Ag's playing acapella over the drums real quick. But like if you know, and then if you know you don't know Ag a lot, but Ag got a new album out too right now. I wish I could tell you the name off the top of the head, but it's fire. Make sure you go check it out. Everybody that hears this. Aguilar the Don Bishop, new album out right now. Anyways, so Ag's making the beat, the quick drums only let me. And like Ag's a dude that like me, Vice, and Ag, we used to go out all the time, right? Like when me, Ag was living with me, and Vice, I was in the town shit. So we'd go party all late night, then the Vice would go home, then me, Ag come back to my crib and shit. And like for like 2-3 mixtapes we did. Everything that we went through that night was what came out in the production and the verses. You know what I mean? It was just weird. So he's like, he needs to live his music. Like he's not a dude that can just off the top like chilling there, nothing.
Right.
He needs energy. So, but the way Kendra and me were rocking, and Kendra's like approaching him on it, like Kendra basically almost produced that beat herself too, like in the process. You know what I mean? When he made the rest of that, you know what I mean? Because her energy with it and for it, and Ag was like, yeah, watching that scene, and Kendra asked him about it. He's like, all right, like this, and then he was like, boom. So, yeah.
No doubt.
I just want to, Kendra, so how has it been for you personally, since Vice passed away, just adjusting to everyday life and how's things been for you?
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's kind of hard to describe, honestly. It's been just overwhelming, just also because part of it is so public, and like from the very beginning, there was such a response, and we just had to start doing things, because everyone needed a place to go. We had a memorial that was on Zoom because this was the beginning of COVID, and it lasted straight for 5 days, 121 hours, because that was in group eye to eye straight, where people were coming in on all hours of the night from all different countries, just expressing. And it was like touching people who didn't even know Jason necessarily that much.
People were coming in touch. Like the dude that made his mural in France. There's a beautiful mural in France. Beautiful one in Czechoslovakia. Beautiful one in
Montreal
also. You know what I mean? Just way people touch. But the one is in France. The guy who made the mural didn't even know Vice. He was touched from seeing the Zoom and the people there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like connecting with him. But that energy connected to him to do a mural for him.
Wow.
And it's like even beyond that. I was actually just in Montreal this weekend, and there was a cipher. They had a cipher in front of the mural in Montreal. And there's a lot of people that I met in the States and other people who are artists, hip hop MCs, never met him, and still are like feeling inspired from kind of the message and understanding like really what it is. So in that sense, you're almost living it out loud almost, because everyone needs it, because I mean we all understand how important it is. But in terms of like on the regular day to day, it's basically still just like us and our close friends, the same people that we were hanging out with before, and it's a huge change. I mean,
I'll tell you like this in just simple words. Like at the thing, everybody's like, there's a point where everybody's like, Kendra, we gotta be here for Kendra, right? And Kendra was like, all right, you gotta be here for me, but you guys better be here for us, because that's a significant other. Nice though, but I was saying that just to say like, you know what I mean? Like going off what she said, like living it out loud, you know what I mean? Like for me, and I know for her also, Vice was my heartbeat, you know what I mean? Like our heartbeat, like, you know what I mean? Like for real. So it's like being, at least I think I'm speaking for her too also, like being torn apart, you know what I mean, while having to keep yourself connected and together, you know what I mean, for everything, you know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like me and Kendra, I know the same thing girls go through, like, you know what I mean, like him passing and like having to help be a part of like putting all the videos and such for the videos, you know what I mean, for the murals and everything going on together. Like, you know, we have to see his face and him rapping and talking
And
to us
album,
every single day, every day doing the
Mhm.
album. You know, hearing his voice, like mixing and mastering, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, it's like I don't believe like we've had a like really time to. We have because time passed. I know. I don't know. I feel about myself at least. I don't know. I feel like it's like we've had time since him passing to, I guess, heal from the pain. I guess, you know what I mean. I guess,
Right.
but in the process, we have, you know what I mean. But we also had to have a bigger purpose for Vice. You know what I mean? Having this bigger purpose for VZ at the time to make sure we hold it down for him,
and it's
to be
way
connected. You know what I mean?
Way beyond us. Like he's inspiring so many artist projects, like very deeply, and making it's that's part of the thing that kind of sucks about it is that of course it takes something like that to do it. But obviously there's a reason to it, and that's why in some ways. And it's like that I think for a lot of people who are special in the community in the art world. It's all these really special people, you know, like the Voodoo Ray. I didn't personally know him, but I could see that he's like the same kind of connector of people, of culture, of feelings, of just stuff that matters.
It's funny that you said Voodoo Ray just now, right?
Absolutely.
So
it's the same thing where these special lights that people recognize after and see just that they're telling them the right thing to do, like the right path to go on, and like life, like real, you know, basically like what makes a difference in life and how you want to live your life.
That is so crazy that you said Voodoo Ray, because when we were getting ready to put the show together, I'm looking up stuff and every time I would see his picture or something like that, the first person I thought of was Voodoo Ray. And not to be and to be honest with you, one of the reasons why I just asked you before, like what was his background or whatever, because he reminds me so much of Voodoo Ray.
Oh, I swear, I know Voodoo Ray. I swear.
People be honest.
Yo, Voodoo Ray was the same way, B.
But it's so weird.
He was in tune to everything going on in everybody too. You know what I mean? Like that's how Vice from top to bottom was like. You could be the. You know what I mean? Like he would have love for you there.
I gotta run. I'm getting a workout, but I'll
be right back. She's a lawyer. She's got a lawyer. She got to do some lawyering.
No problem.
You got me. Hey,
all
brother.
Right.
Yeah. No, but that's dope, man. Because they're two people. Some people are just born with that aura, man. And Vice had it. Voodoo Ray. But quick question, and then I'll pass it to you, Sincere. I just have one more thing. With his passing, with Vice passing, right? Were you aware when he was alive? I mean, I know you knew how big he was, right? When he was alive, but was there more of a like wow factor after he passed away, seeing the the outpour of love coming from so many different places? Like, did it take you aback a little bit, or did you know?
I knew, right? This is like a double answering when I say this. Like I was taken aback, but I also knew.
Yeah.
And I knew, just because I say this because, like, me and Vice did the day to day. You know what I mean? Like small spots to big spots where we were. Like, you know what I mean? Anywhere we were with the dudes. You know what I mean? Like we were with Droby, Q-Tip. We were with, you know what I mean? Like in the sessions, we were at Droby's wedding with Dave Chappelle and like all the. Are you back in this? Or you okay? Yeah, she's working. She's doing the lawyer thing. But like anywhere we were with who we're supposed to be with. While Vice would be doing that, but also connecting to everybody else there. You know what I mean? So I knew. You know what I mean? I just didn't know how collectively the other side was paying attention to as much. I knew the energy and force he had while these things were happening. You know what I mean? Like there's not a place we would go to, not a star. I don't care who it is in the world, who Vice would finagle away energy wise to be us we're rocking with and love us. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like want to bring us to where we leave, we going with them. You know what I mean? Like we're all chilling. You know what I mean? Like that was just his persona. You know what I mean? Like we all played a role in it too, but you know what I mean? Like, but he just connected to every single body from the, you know what I mean? I say like if it was a class system at least, you know, I'm not trying to say like that, but you know what I mean? Boom to boom to boom to boom. It's like the acceptance everywhere and the want of them wanting to be around, you know what I mean, was everywhere. But the part that, like I said, I didn't know was saying like how much the import was, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people have gotten like, see it online and on Zoom how much people came out the window, like you see it, you know what I mean, felt it.
Right.
I'm just talking about like even the personal calls I've gotten from like, you know what I mean, some people I guess I shouldn't name, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, Amanda,
Right.
were out the like crazy, you know what I mean. So it was like, wow, he was able to reach these circles and these heights, you know what I mean, like of that we're saying they're impacted by him, you know what I mean. So, like I said, yes and no.
Gotcha.
The Crown is out now. You talked a little bit about the intro with Aguilar. Speak a little bit about the guest appearances on this particular project.
So who's on this album? There's Aguilar, there's me, the Big Ox. How's your boy? Idea Factory right now. Slane, I mean, on the count of me, got me and Prolific and my boy Slane, you know what I mean? Dope MCs, pros pro, you know what I mean? Like that fire, you know what I mean? Always keeps that fire in him. And Slane, I don't feel familiar with Slane, you know what I mean? Slane got a purpose with his music to change the world, man, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you guys familiar with the story?
A little bit.
Somewhat.
Yeah, it's powerful, man. Like, you know what I mean? He just opened up a rehab center also, you know what I mean? But, he went through the whole process himself. And he speaks through his music, you know what I mean? And to have someone who's so prominent with a MCing, you know what I mean? And being able to do it such and portray that, to me, is a salute to God, salute to life, you know what I mean? But Slane's incredible. You got Big Zoo and Shabam Shadiq on Wondering Why, you know what I mean? And
Bam.
Yeah, Shabam's that dude already, you know what I mean? And Big Zoo, there ain't nobody freestyling with that nigga. So step in the ring. About to get introduced to the king. You know what I mean? So who else is on there? Me and Rob Flo is on a joint. Willy Wonka video coming out soon. It's actually the only video Vice is actually in. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's coming soon, and it's banging. It's like one of those. It's like I can't. You have to hear it. Once you hear it, you'll understand. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not like. It's not trap. It's trappy with original hip hoppy, like submerged into a water tank. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just incredible. But who else is on there? We got
Breeze. Breeze Ever Flowing.
Breeze Ever Flowing on last joint. I'm gonna say that last because I want to go into that. But we got me, Dinko D, on Time to Go.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys ever heard Time to Go. Woo! Yo! So my dude say he's doing a cartoon video for that. So hopefully,
nice.
We'll watch it soon. I mean, it's gonna be cartoon situation. But those are other situations where, like, late night sessions, coming to the crib, and like I got an engineer like recording and doing shit. I'm like, nigga, I'm trying to get on the song. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We came the whole idea together. It's like Dinko's. If you hear Dinko's verses, yo, Dinko went mad animal on this. Like. If you hear like the bars and the intricacies and the way he laid it, like if you hear it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Even though it's a smooth, dope club joint, you know what I mean? Really though,
right.
Hear the bars, it's retarded. And then if you hear VZ's bars, yo, we saying it. We said some shit in it, man. It's like, damn, I wish I had it right now. He's like talking about like, mommy give me body language, exotic and foreign, walking with an accent. I love how she be talking. And she don't mind, I be going in the morning. Your tulips need watering and I'm a florist. Yeah! Come on, B. Give me body language, exotic and foreign, walking with an accent. I love how she be talking. I be going in the morning, your tulips need watering, and I'm a florist.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like the bars.
Yeah.
I mean, like body language, exotic foreign, walking, body language and walking with an accent. Like my nigga, like put that together right there by itself is pretty
Never heard that one before.
That's what I was saying before. Me like VZ's artistry, like that's a layup line for him. But regardless, I was saying about the track, like that them going together, like doing that track, and then me have to be like, oh, for me to get on the track now, I gotta have like what the fuck, you know what I mean? So that's they go my bag of tricks and like find a way. But then the last joint with Breeze, to me, like VZ never really express. He expressed how he like him, sees how he thinks MCs is dope. But Breeze to me is the only person he ever told me he looked up to as far as like the bar rich and the writing, you know what I mean? So I thought it was me and Kendra both thought it was a must to have him on it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So he's on that darkness and it actually worked out perfect because it was a way of expressing like the part, like if you listen to the album, it's like, you know, it's cool and death, but there's an expression to the whole thing, and where like ending with the darkness is like the darkness of, you know, he's not here no more, you know what I mean? And
right.
It's said in a very expressionist, cool MC, you know what I mean, way, prolific way. But even there's a quote at the end of the, you know what I mean? There's a quote at the end of the album after the darkness. I don't remember what was the top of my head, but that can express everything for you.
Producer wise, who can we expect on this project? Production
wise, you got Aguilar, you got Rob Flo, you got Jess James, you got my man Zir, Sun Tzu from for Idea Factory from London. Who else is on there? You got what's the name? Dax. There's Dax Beats on his Dax Productions on it. Who else is there? I think that may be it. I could be wrong though, you know what I mean? I need to see the song listing.
No doubt.
Let me see if I can do this. You know what I mean? If I could name the songs, I could do it. Aguilar first song, second song, Jess James, third song, Zoo, Count on Me, fourth song is
Have You Ever?
Have You Ever. So Have You Ever is another great story. So there's we recorded Have You Ever before for a different project, right? But we didn't put it on, but we recorded for it. But in the original part, the original of that is if y'all guys are fans of hip hop, I'll send it to you personally to help, but don't put it out. But yeah, it's
hell yeah.
There's certain about it, it's like disgusting. But yeah, the person who produced it, we don't fuck with no more, me or VZ. So in my heart and soul, like saying to put it out on his project wouldn't be correct. So what we did was we did when the whole Zoom thing popped off, you know what I mean, the different shows came off from it and stuff. There's a production show. And so we did a production competition. It was between 12 different producers, you know what I mean, from around the world. You know what I mean? That we sent the acapella to, the original song, the acapella to, you know what I mean? And then we did a show where they did a producer competition. You know what I mean? And so my man, who won that? Who won that? Yo, Kendra. Who won Have You Ever? Produce. Maslaw from London. He's MC too, producer also. But Maslaw from London, he actually won the competition for that beat. You know what I mean? Right. So there's a whole the producer competition we have for it. You know what I mean? And then there's mad producers that want to be in it, but it was only we want to do a certain amount. So we picked a certain amount, and then had the show, and then Maslaw won it.
Right.
Boom.
Where can the viewers pick this project up, and will there be a physical copy release?
Yeah. Every streaming situation there is in the, you know what I mean, in the world. Hopefully there. If we listen to, tell a friend, and then we can all be friends. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But there will be physical copies, and we're going to do a CD release. We're also going to do a record release, but you know what I mean. We're going to make those exclusives. You know what I mean? We're a CD baby right now with the joints. So I don't know what we're going to do with the actual records, but there will be announcements on EO Dub and the Vice Versus page and the Versus Foundation page also.
Hold us too, man. Hold two for us, please.
Yeah. And also, but I don't know if anybody here out watching this, you know what I mean? Like, just know, like, we also doing that. We did an album release already. We do another album release on July 8th from 6 to 10 at Chelsea Music Hall, which I believe is on 15th and 9th. So album release of 6 to 10, Chelsea Music Hall. And you know, if you know that venue, it's fire. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna have some artists performing from the Versus Foundation. We're gonna have headlining Nems Gutter. You know, I'm in the Coney Island man, the Big Bong King. You know what I mean? We're gonna have him headlining with my brother Jesse James Figueroa, who got Jesse's Dead coming out, which is crack simmering on it, you know what I mean? And everybody's pot right now. I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's not ready to come out because we microwaving it, you know what I mean? Let it, I mean, get it real, we gotta get it real rocking. I mean, but right. but that's so that's July 8th on Friday. Anybody's in the city, close to the city, Jersey, Connecticut, come through. Album release party. We're gonna go through the whole album of VZ. We're gonna go through all the videos we got. You know, we got a video for One Real Wild. We got a video for Count on Me. We got a video for Willy Wonka, but we ain't put it out yet. But we played the last album release. We're gonna play it again. We're gonna play it again this Friday. You know what I mean? Before releasing it, I think in a couple weeks. But Friday, July 8th, Chelsea Music Hall, the Versus Foundation come through. You know what I mean? Like, it's for the foundation too, though. It's for the album release party mostly. You know what I mean? It's for the album release party, but it's mostly for the Vice Versus Foundation, which is, you know, basically getting funds and, you know what I mean, finding ways to help other up-and-coming artists or arts in the streets step to another level to where the public can see and more, hear them more. You know what I mean? So it's Friday, July 8th with Coney Island Mayor and Nems headlining it. Chelsea Music Hall. The tickets are like $20. Like, I mean, go to eodub.com, go to my page. Big, you know what I mean? Real Big Ox on IG, you know what I mean? All the information is there. We got you. And The Crown is out right now on every streaming platform. Go ahead, buy that. Tell a friend. It's out right now. You know what I mean? Like The Crown's out, man. Go check that. Go tell. Once you take one list, you're gonna know. This is essential in hip hop that we all need to have, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the idea factory.
No doubt. We want to thank you for joining us this evening. Before we get out of here, what can we look forward to in the future from Big Ox as well as Vice Versus?
All right, so you know, as far as Vice Versus is concerned, we got The Crown right now. We're gonna be marathoning that, pushing that for a minute. You know, we got some more videos coming, visuals to, you know, enhance the music you will be hearing. So we got the two, you know what I mean, One Real Wild Count on Me right now. Willy Wonka's done. We're doing a cartoon video for which one was that? Time to Go, I believe. But we're trying to make, you know, have visuals for everything, whether we have them in it some way or not, or, you know what I mean, created characters, whatever it may be. And everything's going to be Idea Factory. We just started a website for our label, Idea Factory, VVS.com. Idea Factory, VVS.com. You know what I mean? So, or you can go to EODUB.com for all the information coming up. Under Idea Factory, which me and VZ started, you know what I mean? Like, we do have Jess James, who's our in-house producer, my business partner also for Idea Factory. Jesse's Dead, coming out before the end of the summer. Pay attention, please. It's it's like, I'll send you exclusive if you want. You know what I mean? Just don't, you know what I mean?
Please do, man. Please do.
But like, and then I got an artist that we found after VZ passed, but I know VZ would be very proud of her. She goes by the name of Pennywise. You know what I mean? She's the Flatbush Barbie. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? She's an Italian Puerto Rican young female from Flatbush, born and raised. You know what I mean? Like, if you know Flatbush, you know what I mean? She's not Italian, Sicilian, Puerto Rican. You're born and raised Flatbush. You know what I mean? But like, thorough as it gets, but also a mom of she had 5 kids, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A mom of 5 who's a great mom and a great person at the same time, you know what I mean? Very so dope. Like in all levels, you know what I mean? But as thorough as it gets, but the balls are like, you know what I mean? I think she about to change the game on the real though, you know what I mean? So Flatbush Barbie, Pennywise, time for change coming soon. Like I said, Jess James, Figueroa, Jesse's Dead, coming soon. The Crown is out now, you know what I mean? And I got 2 projects I'm working on, one called LOL and one called Worth the Wait. You know what I mean? The Worth the Wait's more like my old school hustling shit. You know, you niggas get it. I don't know. I ain't really do it, but, you know, I was there. You know what I mean? LOL is for love of my life, which is hip hop and music, you know what I mean? So, but it's also dedicated to my moms and my daughter. You know what I mean? So it's like more on the sentimental love joints, which I enjoy. Hip hop needs also, you know what I mean? But LOL, Love of My Life, and Worth the Wait also. So that's what's coming through Idea Factory. There's a lot of other ill dub artists like Dominoes who got Gangsta Bitch Love songs out right now, you know what I mean? And other artists that's coming through making a lot of noise and doing things, you know what I mean? So we're just working, man. And we're constantly in the studio. Like we're not like we're those artists that's like it's hard to hear what's going on because we're working so much, you know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
we're working, like, you know what I mean? And it comes from work ethic that VZ bestowed upon us, which I'm gonna bestow upon them and make it a thing where, you know, this is something that we just grow. I'm trying to carry on his legacy somewhere. I can't fit in those shoes. But even with working with other up-and-coming artists and stuff and such, you know, we're going to be there once even with the Versus Foundation to help push that as much as possible.
Right.
And
we want
to Vice VZ, put your V's together in the old dub. You know what it is?
No doubt.
Man, thank you so much for joining us, man. On behalf of my
Thank
no
you.
doubt. On behalf of myself, Sincere, Changing of the Hip Hop Guards, we appreciate everything you're doing.
Uncle E, Sincere, good looking, Changing the Hip Hop Guards in the building. The crown's out right now by Vice Versus.
Yes, everybody make sure to go grab that. The Crown, Vice Versus, man. Salute to him.
EODUB.com.
His family, everybody, friends that he left behind. Man, we thank you and appreciate everything you guys are doing.
And if you guys in the city, July 8th, make sure you come to Chelsea Music Hall for the Versus Foundation Friday, 6 to 10. Headlining them, you know what I mean? Tell a friend, tell a friend. You go LI. If you LI, tell a friend, come through see that.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm gonna try to make that. I'm gonna try to make that.
Versus Foundation. We're here to right now. Thank you.
No doubt. Thank you guys. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for keeping Vice Versus legacy alive and well.
Always will be, man. You know what it is.
No doubt. This has been Changing of the Hip Hop Guards podcast. I'm your host, the journalist Sincere. It's my partner, Uncle E. And thank you so much, Kendra and Big Ox.
Thank you.
We're here. Idea Factory, PBS.com. Wow.
Peace.
Peace.